Hi guys, it's KJM, and for those of you that are Hallmarkies, you know what time it is. It's time for another movie review. Last night at 8 p.m. Eastern, Christmas by Design premiered, starring Rebecca Dalton and Jonathan Keltz. Okay, so let me just tell you this. If you are a car mechanic with your own garage, this is your season to find love, because so far in this countdown to Christmas, this is the second movie where a car mechanic finds love and helps a woman find her spirit in Christmas. So if you out there rotating tires, you just changed somebody's brakes, you've been feeling down on luck, on love, baby, Hallmark is telling you it's your season. Because as you guys remember, last Saturday's movie, Where Are You Christmas? Okay, the lead in that movie was also a car mechanic who had taken over his pop's garage. So if you are a car mechanic, and maybe this is not even gender specific, since Hallmark is trying to be more diversified and inclusive. But if you are a car mechanic, baby, this is the time to start swiping left, swiping right, or even just go stand out, just, walk down the street, because love is going to find you in this countdown to Christmas 2023. Okay, now that I'm done with that shenanigans, let me get into this review. So I wanted to do this review. I know I owe you guys like 2 other reviews, and I'm going to try to do it right after this one. I wanted to do it while it was fresh in my mind. I am going to be completely honest. Countdown to Christmas 2023 is starting off really disappointing compared to 2022. And I'm going to be honest, since 2022 was my first time watching every single movie between Miracles of Christmas and Countdown to Christmas, I was very generous with a lot of my scoring. But now I'm going to start to be hardcore about this, because Hallmark, we are under new management. We are trying to diversify not only our actors and actresses, but also our storylines. And if you guys regurgitate something back to me that you've already done, and then you do it in such a sloppy way, I'm honestly going to say to you, like, what are you doing? And honestly, if you're watching these reviews, if I can think of another Hallmark movie that executed a similar plot better, I'm actually going to recommend it to you. Matter of fact, the movie from last year where she played Jen something, and it was a design movie, and she needed to design a Christmas theme or whatever, was very similar to this, but executed much, much better. Oh, #Xmas. Woo! I'm so glad I remembered that. So this was like a ripoff of #Xmas, but not really, because that theme was a little bit more interesting. So, okay, I say this to say I'm giving Christmas by Design a 4 out of 10. Y'all know how my scoring goes. If I score a movie between a 7 and a 10, it's a must watch. If it gets under a 7, if you're bored enough and you want to be intrigued enough, you're going to go ahead and watch it. All right, let's get into the premise. Okay, the premise of this is Charlotte, aka Charlie, is a luxury designer in New York City. She's actually from a small town called Brooks Bend, Connecticut. I tried to look up and see if there was a Brooks Bend, Connecticut, but I kept getting Brooks Bend, Ohio, because I was really wondering what part of Connecticut takes 4 hours to drive through. My sister lives in CT, and from what I can tell, you can probably get through that whole state. Maybe 4 hours is pushing it if you're going towards Massachusetts, probably. I don't even know. But anyway, Brooks Bend was apparently 4 hours away from New York City. So anyway, she's a luxury clothing designer, but everything with her company has kind of been slow. She has a Latina assistant, so there goes our diversity and inclusion. We saw her for a little bit. She brought some spice to the beginning of the movie. And basically what happens is Charlotte, aka Charlie, really needs to help her business. She gets this opportunity. Her assistant actually signs her up for this pajamas or Christmas coveralls competition from this store chain called Warwick. Now, baby, I think Warwick is really Macy's, okay? And you know, I love a good Macy's one-day sale because I feel like they've been having those one-day sales since the 1980s, okay? And it's still going on in 2023. So anyway, she needs to design some, she was chosen as one of the possible designers for these Christmas coveralls, and which basically look like kind of like fancy pajamas. But the catch is they need to be affordable and they need to be family oriented. So it's like a family oriented Christmas theme, and that's not really Charlie's thing. Somehow she has to go back to Brooksville, Connecticut to spend Christmas with her family. She's going after like her dad has passed for a while, and she's going back, and as soon as she enters town, she rear ends this mechanic named Spencer, okay? So when she rear ends him, her whole front, hood, everything just falls apart, but his truck is fine. He says he'll fix it for her or whatever. I want to say that anybody rear-ending someone is kind of the most dangerous car accidents. I've always heard that from like police and military people, that it's really like the worst place to get hit is from the back. So if you out here daydreaming, Charlie wasn't texting, but she was out here daydreaming. If you out here daydreaming when you're driving, pull over and have the dream. Safely pull over. Don't be rear-ending people. Yeah, that's right. KJM got to give you some safety tips. All right. So anyway, that's how they meet. I guess that's their meet cute. That's how they meet. And from there, she goes, she sees her family. Her mom is remarried to some dude named Rick. Her sister's there, her nephew's there. And they're letting us know that Charlie has been very focused on her career, and she hasn't really been there for her family. And now she's big city. She done forgot about everybody in small town Connecticut, okay? Now, here's the thing I need Hallmark to sell to me. If you want to sell to me, small town girl goes to big city and blows up, make her seem elegant, make her seem stylish, not just everything that comes out of her mouth saying that her brand is a luxury brand. I really wasn't buying that she was this big designer in New York City, but then I gave her a little bit of grace, saying she's probably on the come up, and it's really hard in big cities to get your come up in almost any area. Two things. I really want to know if Hallmark realizes that there's something in between a big city and a small town, and I live in one. So it's got the suburban feeling, but then the city is like 15 minutes away. Why don't we try to create some movies where you merge the two? It's not the big city with the hustle and bustle, but we're not in small town Hickory Dickory Lane either. We're somewhere in between. Also, as a person who is not planning on having a family, I kind of resent the fact that if you're not focused on your family, that you must be focused on your career. I had a girlfriend tell me recently that if she doesn't end up having children, she's just going to focus on her career. Baby, I'm in the middle. I want to just get my coins, have enough to travel, to actually take care of my family, easily. But I'm not going to say, especially in this here economy where a 12-pack of Canada Dry ginger ale could cost something like $13 at the height of the pandemic. And I really did see that the first year in the pandemic in my damn supermarket. And I'm still pissed about it because I'm a Canada Dry ginger ale girl. Okay. So with this inflation, with the layoffs that people are experiencing, I don't really want to be about nobody's career unless it's like going to be a business for me. Not saying that I won't work hard at whatever jobs and employments or gigs that I take, but I'm literally saying there's something in between focusing on your job and avoiding your family, or focusing on your family and avoiding your job. There is a happy medium. And sometimes I wish Hallmark movies showed that. Anyway, Charlotte, aka Charlie, she's got to design these Christmas coveralls. So while she's home within the 7 days, she starts to fall in love with Spencer. Baby, I used to fall in love that quick too. I think twice it's happened to me. And I think what they really call that is a trauma bond, but we'll talk about that later, okay? So she's spending time with her family. She misses her father. Spencer's wife passed away. They start to bond. She's helping him, keep the women away from him because he's the hottie in the town. Yes, mechanics, you are the hottie in the town. And that he's helping being a model for her coveralls. These two fall in love. She ends up choosing her family over her career, but then she still won the competition. And Warwick, baby, is going to have her coveralls in their store. I'm giving this a 4 out of 10. I don't know where the hell this is going, but feel me on this. All right. Stay tuned for more reviews, I think. Am I still going? Is it still going? I think this is still going.